I'm on my own. And I don't know how I feel about that. I came to visit my brother and my sister-in-law, who are like my best friends. I love them so much. And my amazing niece and nephew. And they're in Calgary, Alberta. I live on Vancouver Island, so I'm visiting them. And they have lives and can't take off time to hang out and play with me, which of course makes sense. I don't blame them. We're just outside of Calgary and I can't access their public transit, so I can't go on any adventures, which I did mention in my last video that I had done before, and it was so fun. But it's actually good because I feel like I am working through a lot of things right now, and it's good. I can just go on tons of walks. It's just so sunny here, and it's just glorious. There's a tiny bit of snow, but it's like not dangerous. Like the sidewalks are clear, which is nice. So we're gonna go out on an adventure, you and me. And then Saturday in the evening, my brother and I have plans for something super fun. I can't wait to show you. So join me. There's not a ton of housework in this one. There's going to be a lot of tea making, a lot of tea drinking, as there always is. And let's go. Let's get started. This jacket is probably overkill. It's 3 degrees Celsius, which where I live would be a bit colder, but I still don't even know if I'd need that big jacket. So this one just like holds the wind off, which is the problem here. The wind. Here we go. I'm back and I got my delicious Tim Hortons steep tea. So the thing about Tim Hortons, I should say, is if you are not from Canada, you may have heard that it's a coffee chain. Some people hate it, some people love it. It's kind of iconic in a lot of ways. And my husband, he loves their coffee. A lot of people say they hate their coffee, but my husband likes kind of like a more medium roast. And I love the steep tea. It's so good. But then I go out and I walk and I look at the town's people, the town workers setting up the candy cane, which would be gorgeous. I wonder if we'll see it one of these evenings. Maybe I'll go for a walk at night. Then I would really need my winter coat. I will tell you, my ears did get cold and I thought, okay, I should have worn my toque. So I'm gonna enjoy my tea. I'm gonna make my breakfast. I'm going to actually do some journaling, because like I mentioned, I am just sort of like working through some stuff. Nothing bad, but I have mentioned in the past videos how I had started therapy, and I am just like trying to stop being like obsessed with being productive. Like it's almost getting to an OCD type. And I don't know what you would call it, but I'm just saying, like it's getting to be an issue. So working through that. I have a tiny bit of actual work to do. And again, like trying not to pack everything. So this is a very good exercise for me of just like relaxing. It's 12 o'clock. I'm eating my lunch at 12. This is 1 hour ahead of my normal time zone. So I don't know. I'll eat my breakfast, do some journaling, and then I'll probably get another walk because I am trying to get my steps up. And I will explain about that in a minute and why you might want to as well. So I'm going to do that, and then you and I are going to meet again. Not sunny, and it said it was 9 degrees, but I actually had to go back and get my toque, so I don't know, but it still feels really good to go for a walk outside. And I want to today explain to you, first of all, as somebody who is kind of addicted to being busy, I am going to explain to you how this rest is going, what I have discovered about myself so far, and why getting some steps in is so important to me. And no, I am not training for a marathon day at Disneyland or anything like that. I am training to be a 105-year-old fit lady. So we're going to get into that. Okay, we're back. That was a delicious deep tea. I drink hot drinks so fast. I drink everything so fast. Partially why I don't drink alcohol, because I would just drink it too fast. So yesterday I talked about like my chronic busyness, and that is something I'm going to get into after my next walk. I do want to quickly explain the walking thing to you. So when I am at home, I use my walking treadmill, because when I was an emergency nurse, I would get like 15 to 20,000 steps a day easily. And once I started working at home, I mean, it's been like 6 years basically, with a lot less nursing in that time. But I was getting way less steps, and I was like gaining a little bit of weight. I mean, part of it is just the perimenopause, which, you know, is unavoidable. But every study, not every study, but so many studies show how important walking is. And it's important for a lot of reasons. And it is good for our cardiovascular health, which would be one of my main reasons. Good for longevity, which is another big reason for me. I want to be a 105-year-old lady in my garden, like running laps around my great-grandchildren. That is my goal. The other thing that is so awesome about walking is it's good for my mental health. So if I'm at home, just walking on my treadmill in my house, that is still super helpful. But when I'm away, it's like I'm just like a Pinterest cottagecore person, just loving, just like walking around. Today, I'm probably gonna go on like 3 walks. I already went on one, I'm going on another one. But the thing is, they used to say you had to get 10,000 steps in a day. That's just another arbitrary number. Just like when they would say you need 8 glasses of water a day. So you're saying my 6'8" friend Kyle needs the same amount of water as 5'1" me? I highly doubt that. Everything is variable. One of the things that has come out in recent years, from what I can recall, is that it turns out 7,000 steps is actually a great number to hit to actually see really good benefit. And beyond that, apparently, the results don't really change that much for our health. And don't be intimidated. And yes, I'm sorry that we're not doing a lot of like house cleaning in this, but they have forbidden me from cleaning. They're like, you're on vacation, which is true. And we'll get into that in the busyness section. But there is a lot of walking, and I do, you know, I care so much about you guys, and I want to encourage you. So you could be cleaning while doing this, and you'll be getting some steps in. The other thing, though, it is super helpful, like for managing weight. We're hitting 5 guys tonight, which is delicious. They don't have it where I live. My husband is going to be so jealous, because it's like what we get when we go away, and he has high cholesterol, so he can't have any right now anyway. Not that I'm going to have it a lot, but if I wanted to get to sort of offset that, I could go for a bit of an extra walk. And since I was forbidden from doing anything, and I do not have anything else to do, that's what I'm gonna do. So instead of knitting, instead of journaling, I'm just gonna walk. Well, I will journal after, so let's go. The nice thing is that this is actually better for us than like doing a really strenuous HIIT workout. And I get to be out here. It's beautiful. It's finally sunny again. I love it. I mean, I do sometimes higher intensity stuff, but this little bit of weights, so good for our health. We got this, you and me. My gingerbread latte with just 2 pumps. It is a venti because I was going to redeem my stars. And obviously when you're redeeming your stars, you're going to get the largest size you can. So good though. This is so nice. here's a test to see if you are rushing or too busy. Now, this path here starts right there. But when I was walking, started right there, which is really funny because here I am trying to get in a lot of steps out of kind of boredom, but also for health. But I cut across this. But why? I'm hurrying. What am I hurrying to? This is the problem. Okay, I promised that we would talk about this. This is the next day, my last full day here. And we're gonna quickly talk about busyness because my default setting is productive. And I am currently listening to The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. And please don't laugh at me, but when I started this book, the first day I was here, I was listening to it on 1.5% speed. So I was listening to The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry on 1.5% speed, which I know is crazy. So I actually slowed it down to 1.2 because, I mean, it was a little too slow at the regular time speed, but you know. But I feel personally attacked listening to it. He nailed it. As I mentioned in that last section about the path, like if you pull up to a red light and there's 2 lanes, you're going to choose the one that has the shortest line. I assume you and me, but we're trying to find the fastest way to do everything. And why, right? Like, why are we always hurrying? Why do I always need to be busy? While I'm here, I am like forcing myself to slow down, and it felt good. Like yesterday, you guys, I walked 15,000 steps, which was almost an accident to walk that far. But it felt good because it was just reflection. Like I would never do that on a regular basis. My body would not like that. But today I was tired, obviously, after all of that. So I took way more time to relax. I did go on a walk with my brother, but it was much shorter and just at a leisurely pace. But my body was like, it's time to rest. And that feels good. And so for me, what I'm learning is the difference between when is it rest and when is it unhelpful. And I've talked about the solve it grid before with like the how we use energy, and I'll explain it again in a different one. But one of the ways to use energy is blue, which is basically just like watching TV, which for me is great for a little bit, but then it becomes bad. Then I start feeling bad. So I need like productive rest in that I'm like making some bread, or I'm working out in my garden, or going for a walk, but to the point where I'm not exhausting myself. But here it's really funny because at home I have like, I am the person, like I am the house manager, and that's how we've set it up. That's how we all want it. And so for me, I'm the one that makes sure at the end of the day, everything is ready. Like everybody else helps, but it's my job. And I'm okay with that. But here, I don't need to do that. I get to just like, I'm on vacation, and this is actually the best kind of rest. The other thing though, in that book, he talked about that we have limitations, and we need to know what our limitations are. And everybody has different limitations. So what are they? Is it like physical limitations, time limitations? We all have the same time. That's one thing for sure. We all are limited. Like we have to eat, we have to drink water. We're limited in a lot of ways. And also exploring, what are your limitations? What are my limitations? For me, I can't work that much on a consistent basis. Like I can't work 8 days a week and take care of the house and be like running people around. There's just like not enough time in the day for me personally. My sister-in-law, who I love dearly, who's here, she works full time and she runs her house. So that works for her. But we did talk about one other thing that in that book that they talked about, and that is building in margin. So margin is what between our responsibilities, is there that space, right? And she said her whole life is margin. And I was like, you're hilarious, because it isn't. My hair's wet, by the way. And my rosacea's like really popping. But it isn't, because you have this job. But she's so smart because she's aware of her limitations. So she's like, I have built in a lot of margin. And for me, that is what I'm needing to do, is make sure that I build in that margin. And I'm curious how you feel. How are you with the margin? How are you with your limitations? Now, for the rest of the night, we are doing something so fun, and I can't wait to show you. And then I will wrap up this trip after that. You guys, that was so much fun. That hockey game, oh my goodness. I absolutely loved it. And I am not a real hockey lover. I'm not a bandwagon jumper, but I love going to live games. And it was so fun. And they won. And every time they win, the Flames shoot out because they're the Flames. It's so nice. And to watch that with my brother, it's just such a gift. And then I had a great trip home. And then my son picked me up, which was wonderful. And then I got home to my house, where you may have seen a couple of weeks ago where I said that we are going to be replacing some of the flooring. Well, we're knee deep in that. My house is an absolute disaster. I have so much work to do. All of us do. So you are going to be seeing that in the next video. So there'll be lots of inspiration. In amongst that, I will be decorating for Christmas. So I have my work cut out for me. I am so grateful you joined me. I think you would love this video. I hope something great happens for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!